You know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it pretty.
Watch Johnny's bite. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'ma wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Monday, the 10th of March. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. And as we continue with our Lent and also with the holy month of Ramadan, continue to pray for Ghana. I want to say thank you to Grandpa Clothing at Dansoman. They're on Instagram. They're in Kigali and some other African countries, but they make the best clothing that you need. So from them. Now, the Greater Accra Regional Minister gave us a timeline, 50 days. Now I've extended a pound branch to her to say, I'm ready to support at any day. Maybe one of these days, Sixtus and I will pay a courtesy call on the regional minister. But over the weekend, I had a lot of fan mails for the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Ms. Oklu. And people have started sharing thoughts and giving credit for street lights that are coming back on stream, and they say their areas are being lighted up. But somebody raised a key question about the traffic light in front of the Odogon Secondary School. And recently we saw the students go on a demonstration protesting that people were being knocked left, right, center there. I'm sure that we can direct attention there. Again, for me, the key question that comes to mind every day is that we have constant sunlight. Constant sunlight. I know that the John Mahama administration in 2012 through 2013, 14, 15, 16 had a solar project which was discontinued by the previous administration. Now the question we ask is this: other countries who don't have sunlight all year through have solar ideas and solar projects, but we allow the sun to hit us and scourge us, and some will say it burns their skin, for want of a better expression. What do we use the sun for? What do we use the sun for? How are we able to harness the energy of the sun to be able to take care of ourselves and to provide and add on to our energy mix? Because we complain that power is expensive. We complain about it. We complain that Akosobo Dam, sometimes it gets low levels. We complain about it. But how do we benefit from the solar that God has given to us as the people of the Republic of Ghana? It's a simple question I'm asking. When you talk about it, you are told that, solar is expensive and solar is this, solar is that, solar is this. I just want to know why we are not injecting a lot of our resources and focusing our direction and attention on solar power generation. I'm just asking. Because I know some very big men and big women who are friends of mine who have gotten off the national grid. So whether ECG goes down, it doesn't go down, they don't care. Because they have solar power. So why can we not, as a nation, at least for those institutions, NCA, ECG, all of, lead by example, show people that solar is an option. Why can't we have that? I'm just asking because I don't see a reason why we should have sunlight all year through and we should have certain streets in Accra being dark. It doesn't make sense to me. Solar panels, solar street lights, solar traffic lights. What does it take to have those? I'm just asking, what does it take to have those? Put a picture up there. The regional minister is doing her best in the Greater Accra region. I don't know about other regional ministers. I see the Ashanti regional minister moving as well. I am not seeing the other regional ministers. But the conversation is that we don't have a lot of time. And we must see the regional ministers now that we do not have the MMDCs at post. We must see the regional ministers. And that's one of the things that whether you like Henry Quartey or hate him, you would appreciate him for. That when the lacuna was created for 9 months, he stepped in and he did his best. Henry Quartey, former regional minister, he did his best. At the time when you knew that we didn't have MMDCs, he did what he had to do. The regional ministers are not elected or are not selected by the president of the day to go and be taking salutes and be watching onto things. No. The regional ministers are supposed to coordinate, make sure that their regions are acting and they are working efficiently and effectively. Efficiently and effectively. You don't want a certain situation where you have a dormant regional minister and the region is disadvantaged. No. You know, because when we created the new regions, come to me. When we created the new regions, I remember that we gave every new region, Bono East, Savannah, Oti, Western North, we gave them 20 million cedis at seed cash or seed money. The question you want to ask is, how did they invest those monies and to what benefit did the people in those regions get? It's a simple question. We were told that they were giving 20 million cedis, seed cash. President Akufo-Addo announced that. Let's go back to those regions. Because we said we were creating those regions in order to bring development to the doorstep of the people. Did we do that? Were we able to achieve that? The regional ministers who served, who are Article 71 holders, who will take their ex-gratia, preparing to take that, enjoyed everything that came with the office. Did the people benefit from them? It's a simple question that we must ask. It's a very simple question that we must ask. I saw the new MD of Ghana Water Company, former member of parliament for Damongo, Adam Mutawakilu, the great man, as he calls everybody. So we call him that in return, the great one. You know, Ghana Water Company had complained about some treatment plants that had issues. He's visited it, and I like it when people move to fix issues. I like it. I don't want a situation where people are put into positions of trust and then you find them not working. Yes. Let's put the pictures up. Not working. I like it when people move to work. He visited it. So something will have to work. But he must also not forget about Galamsey and the effect on the operations of Ghana Water Company. The previous government disappointed us in fighting Galamsey. The new government cannot disappoint us. And Arocha Ghana, Darrell Bosso, they are now blaming the police that our Galamsey issues were because of the police. The surge was because of the police. So Adam Butawakilu, thank you for moving to make sure that we all have quality water to drink. But you must not forget that part of the problems why these machines have broken down is also because of galamsey. And if we don't have water to drink, we will all be in deep trouble. We know. I don't have to be the one telling you that every now and then. We know. Once upon a time, these same treatment plants, we had 3 ministers, one for sanitation, one for information, another for lands and natural resources. They went to stand at these same locations, took pictures. They said they were now trying to understand the problem. Meanwhile, they were part of an interministerial committee led by Professor Kwame to fix a problem. We were told that the problems had been fixed, but later when the government, the second term came, they said they were now trying to understand the situation. When people are given the opportunity to lead, we must hold their feet to the fire. People, we do our work. We pay our taxes. People who come into office, either to be paid with our taxes or by our taxes, they must ensure that they deliver on our behalf. And that is non-negotiable. You must demand, it's not a favor that anybody who gets elected or appointed or nominated to go and be somewhere takes advantage of it. So everybody who has been given a post must work. Because the president of the day says, I am coming to correct some of the things that I did wrong in the past. Inaction, per action, whatever it is, he has admitted in opposition that, look, there were some of the things that we could have done better that we did not do. So this is not the time for anybody to treat anybody with kid gloves. No. This is a time for everybody to work. Come to me. On the front page of the news center, there's a race for immigration service boss. All the others there, whether it is Samuel Basintali Amadou, DCOI, or Faisal Disu, DCOI, or Evelyn Lochu, DCOI, or Prudence Akusosu, DCOI, or Francis Pamdeti, DCOI, or ACI, Kofi Owusu Edward. It is an ACI. Now, aside all of these people, this Edward Owusu has been on his rank for about 7 years. Maybe Mr. Siatechi can answer that question, why he stayed on his rank for 7 years. Was one of the people I spoke about who had been posted to a non-existent station. I played that tape for you about 2 years ago when I spoke about the immigration service. Now, the post literally is falling. The immigration service boss, we all know, is supposed to be on retirement. Prison service boss is supposed to be on retirement. Fire service boss is supposed to be on retirement. And I stood here at the beginning of the tenure and said that some of the sins of President Akufo-Addo must not be repeated by President John Dramani Mahama. It appears that he's learning to repeat some of those mistakes. The youth of this country who queued to vote massively for President John Dramani Mahama say, let the retirees go and let the young grow. I'm not anti-age, I repeat it. Let the retirees go, let the young grow. And it is actually very, very disrespectful to people who are next in line to hold offices. And somebody will hold on to the position 4 years after retirement. And some people, even though they are close to the top, they will never assume the top role. And they will go home just like that. It is very, very disrespectful because if somebody stepped away or somebody went home honorably, did the pull-out session and ceremony, you should be able also to leave the scene when the applause is loud. It is actually very evil and disrespectful for people to be holding on to positions when they know from the deepest depth of their hearts that they are not supposed to be holding on to those positions. Very disrespectful. It only tells the world that there's nobody there to succeed you because you have not led well. But that is not the case. The case is that there are people there well qualified to replace you. There are people well qualified to step into your shoes. So why are you holding on? Tell me, why are you holding on? Why are you still, after 60, dressing up in fatigue attire and going to work? Why? And then you will gather and tell young people that there are no jobs. And then you will gather and come and give big money at church ceremonies for, harvest and all of those ones. You are evil if you are doing that. Because young people also need an opportunity. They need an opening to also study and grow. And there are people who are 2 years shy, 3 years shy from retirement, that they also need an opportunity. But you are denying them the opportunity because you are holding on. That's wickedness. That's wickedness. When it is time for you to bow out nicely and go home and play with your grandchildren. You cannot hold on to state office like that. I have refrained and restricted myself from publishing photos of retirees because if you ask me, really, it is not in my interest to do that. I don't like doing that. I don't like disrespecting older people. So why do you make it become a subject of conversation? You say, oh, I've not finished my project. And some of them, when you speak to them, it's as if it is supposed to be a birthright. Why? Why? If you speak to a lot of young people in this country, they will tell you they are not happy about that situation. And the president of the day, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, must not repeat the sins of his predecessor, President Akufo-Addo. I say, let the retirees go and let the young grow. Everybody is applauding you for picking a very youthful cabinet. Everybody is applauding you. And we have seen your youthful cabinet moving from Kwame Agboja to Abu Jinapor to, we have seen them, they are moving. Sam George, they are moving, they are working. Ablajifa Gomashi, they are working. The government is not more than 4 months old, right? But count the number of things that have been done by the new government. Tick the boxes. And if you like, go back to 2017 and compare and contrast. Yes, tick the boxes. The government is not, this is the third month, though. In fact, even the third month is not up. Just tick the boxes. You may disagree with me, but because we like to do comparisons in this country, just mix and match and let's watch it. Let's mix and match and watch it. We are in Ghana month. Let me show you a video of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The Akonsobo Dam. I've spoken about solar, but let's watch the Akonsobo Dam. Watch.
Nkrumah called population. Nkrumah called his version scientific socialism.
Ghana has made challenging and exciting plans for industrial development. They will attract foreign investment and increase and diversify her production, which has hitherto depended largely on the cocoa crop. The spectacular progress made industrially and financially in Ghana has captured the imagination.
The giant Volta Dam would produce all the electricity the country needed and allow aluminium to be smelted in a new plant as well. But in the rush for development, mistakes were made. Ghanaians soon became victims of bad advice and greed. Huge silos built for the cocoa crop were never used. The aluminium smelter was a financial population.
Are you able to compare Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to any other president that we have had? And people like to take the glory of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and say he did nothing. Look, I am saying to you that play the video. What Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah did for us, if any other president had done 50% of it. I'm not sure we'll be going to IMF and World Bank to be begging for money. No. No. If anybody had done 50% of it for us, we would not have gone begging for money. The silos, the factories, the dam. He set up the country. There's a newspaper clipping. Let's read it together. Nobody compares to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Nobody can convince me otherwise. Put Queen's head on our coins. Opposition demands. At a conference held at the home of Dr. J.B. Dankwa in Accra yesterday, the National Liberation Movement and its allies demanded the Queen's head should be placed on the national currency, coins and notes of Ghana, and not that of Premier Nkrumah. The resolution, which was passed at the conference, also asked the parliamentary opposition to raise the matter in the National Assembly if necessary. The conference had observed that the Minister of Finance, Mr. K.A. Gbedema, had been unable to answer whether or not Kwame Nkrumah's head or Dr. Nkrumah's head would appear on the national currency in the National Assembly. The conference further resolved that the new stamps bearing the portrait of the Queen as the constitutional head of the Ghana state should be put into circulation. It called on the government to withdraw the stamps bearing Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's head from circulation in accordance with its own promise to the nation, not the stamps, that the stamps were to be withdrawn on June 5. A government release in the first week of last month said the special postage stamps issued to commemorate the attainment of Ghana's independence will not now be withdrawn from sale on June 5 until further notice. The third protest by the conference is against the fixing of the 1957 to 58 mid-crop cocoa at 72 cents a load. A resolution dealing with the subject requested that, in fairness to the farmers, the main crop sun price be fixed at 80 cents a load. Withdrawal of stamps. The fourth resolution demanded that the government appoint a national committee on which the Ghana Motor Drivers Union be represented to examine the new motor traffic regulations before they are enforced. The conference endorsed the protest by the National Executive against the ejection of the Queen's representative from the Christianborg Castle. The conference, which was attended by 60 delegates, decided that the movement should be organized in southern Ghana in two regions, eastern and western. At an NLM rally held at Nsawam at the weekend, Dr. K. Ebuzia, leader of the parliamentary opposition, called on the people of Ghana to help the opposition to stamp out all forms of injustice. J.B. Dankwa is a doyen of Ghanaian democracy. No debate about that. But I ask you a simple question, and we'll wrap up with this. When was the last time you saw a 2 Ghana CD note with Kwame Nkrumah's head on it? When was the last time? You tell me. I said, when was the last time you saw a 2 Ghana CD note with the head of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, those orange notes, yellow-orange mixture? When was the last time you saw one? Ask your friends at the Bank of Ghana. When was the last time you saw it? This whole deliberate thing of trying to wipe out the memory of Kwame Nkrumah, it will not work. I said, when was the last time you saw a 2 Ghana CD note? Now, our own University of Ghana. Listen to what our former president said. Play.
Anniversaries inevitably beget memories. And for me, the most poignant of those memories is the inestimable work Dr. J.B. Dankwa did to mobilize the Ghanaian people to insist on the building of this university. It was the inspired visionary leadership of this great scholar and nationalist, who was described in his lifetime as the doyen of Gold Coast politics, that following the setting up of the Elliott Commission, tasked by the colonial government to inquire into the possibility of establishing a university in West Africa, enabled the Ghanaian people to reject the original decision of the British colonial government based on the majority recommendation of the Elliott Commission that a single university be established in Ibadan, in Nigeria, for the whole of the then British West Africa, and got it to agree through a series of passionate interventions in the then Legislative Council, and with the enthusiastic support of the farmers of Ghana, to the creation of a separate university for our country on the basis of his minority recommendation. How felicitous was that decision, and how greatly it has contributed to the growth of modern Ghana. It would be wholly appropriate and not at all far-fetched to describe Joseph Boakai Dankwa as the founder of this university, a fact which on the 75th anniversary of his existence should be vividly recalled by all of us who have been and are the beneficiaries of his work. Indeed, in many other jurisdictions where there is less heat in their politics and more attachment to the facts of the historical
Sunrise
record,
on 3FM.
it would not have been
The
out of
best in the
place
morning.
to have this university named after him. Who knows, one day it may well happen.
At one point, our president thought about naming our University of Ghana after his uncle. At one point. At one point. Let it be on record that the former president did not build any university in this country when he was president. But he succeeded in renaming many universities that had been built before him. Let it be on record that when he was president, he never built any university. But every university that had been built before he became president, he succeeded in renaming most of the universities, CK, Tedam, after party people. Yeah. I'm not the one saying it. If you check the university, we know UDS, Nyankpala, we know UDS, Tamale, we know UDS, this, UDS, that. Go and check their names. We changed it. Even our IPS, the IPS, which was IPS then became UPSA. Do you know they changed the name? But the students still call it UPSA. The signage has remained UPSA. It didn't work. It didn't work. IPS is IPS, UPSA is UPSA. It didn't work. Now, I'm saying that record of renaming everything is there. Oh, University of Sustainable Development, blah, 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 blah. What is being done there? What exactly is being done there? When it comes to Ghana's democracy, you can't take Dr. J.B. Dankwa out. But the attempt to want to glorify him over and above everybody will not succeed. Let me leave it here. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Call me, please. Good morning. Hello, good morning.